praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, forever and ever, so let it be true. Love, honor, and respect to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and to His Holy Son, Yahushai, who died for the 12 tribes of Israel. Matthew chapter 15, verse 24, Matthew chapter 10, verse 5 and 6. And double honors to the apostles of GMS, to the 4 major prophets, to the 12 minor prophets, and to the hopeful elect, the brothers, the Akim, the saints, the 144,000 who are preaching the word of God on the 4 corners of this earth, risking their lives day in and day out. And peace and blessings to my brothers and sisters. Shalom. We're on another lesson. And today is Saturday, February 28th. So, early this morning, the United States and Israel attacked Iran. Like I said, they cross all borders. They didn't go through Congress, the Senate. They do everything on the sneak. You know, we invade Venezuela. We bombed Venezuela, killed hundreds or thousands of people, took their president, kidnapped the president and his wife. We stir up trouble everywhere on the 4 corners of this earth. We stir up trouble. Okay, and what happened a few days back in Mexico with the cartels, we're behind that. Okay, our special forces killed that the boss of the cartel over there in Mexico. Okay, we're behind everything. We stir up trouble, and people don't know why we went into they're gonna start purging all those cartels. Okay, remember they're the small, they're on a small level cartels. All right, the Rothschilds is deflect these cartels from them. Okay, because they make trillions of dollars, the Rothschild family, with the pharmaceutical companies. Okay, but the cartels are going to purge them out because they're going to start taking over their silver mines in Mexico, and we're going to make sure we have our military there so Russia or China doesn't move in, just like we're about to take out Cuba, because Cuba and Russia have a relationship. Okay, we're on a rampage. The United States is on a rampage. That's Revelations 12 and 12. The devil, Satan, and his children have a short time, so they're going to make their move. Okay, just like he threatened Panama to take over the Panama Canal, and they're going to go after Colombia, Argentina. They threatened Greenland. Okay, because it's close to Russia. All right, they're on a rampage. Esau is on a rampage. Okay, so let's get into it. On Saturday morning, February 28, 2026, the United States and Israel launched major joint military strikes against Iran, and they're calling this Operation Epic Fury. Okay, the United States and Israel, those Amalekites. All right, those are not the ancient Hebrew Israelites. They're not from the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Benjamin, or the tribe of Levites. All right, they're the Hebrew Edomites. The grandson was named the Amalekites. That's Revelations 2 and 9, Revelations 3 and 9. Those are the people that are in the land. You know, Donald Trump, he's an Edomite. All right, he represents the father Esau, all those Caesars. Okay, but the Rothschilds, they're the seed of the Amalekites. They're the grandson who ruled over Esau. They have the power. All right, they own the banks. All right, they want the whole world. In Iran, the whole Middle East is going to get purged. That's what people don't understand. They're going to purge that whole Middle East, and it's big money for the war machine. Trillions and trillions of dollars are at stake. All right, they don't make money when there's peace. They make money when there's war, and they're the ones that kick up the dust. Right? They stir up trouble, just like their father, Satan, stirs up trouble. So on Saturday morning, February 28, 2026, the United States and Israel launched major joint military strikes against Iran. The U.S. and Israel executed a preemptive strike, with President Trump calling it a major operation. At least, there was a school that was hit. At least 57 girls, schoolgirls, killed. A strike on a girls' elementary school in Iran. Right. We've been doing this. We've been hitting schools, hospitals for decades in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria. All right, we pushed people, millions of people. We displaced millions. We've killed millions. When I say we, I'm talking about the West, because I live here. You know, I'm not talking about us brothers and sisters. We're talking about the West, because we live in this land. We live in Babylon the Great. Okay, but the West, the West has destroyed the Middle East and dispersed people out of their homes, and that's why there's millions of Middle Eastern people in Europe, all over. It's chaos in Europe. Europe's economy is in the gutter, just like our economy's in the gutter. And see, we made this move because what's going on, that God's bringing all their wickedness to light, especially with this Epstein, with the cannibalism, the rape of children, the kidnapping of children, the sacrifice they do on children, in the Bohemian Grove right here in Aspen and Vale. All right, he had a ranch out there in New Mexico, 30 miles south of Santa Fe. They did things. All right, they're rapists. There's a lot of names in there. All right, things are getting leaked out, so they had to make a move. They had to change things up. All right, to get people's attention off of them, because they're all in that. They're all in the in these emails and these papers and all this. They're being God's. He's bringing them to light. The wicked people. There's judges in there, politicians, Congress, senators, mayors, governors, all these movie stars, all these kings in Europe. Right? God's exposing this whole place. So they got to start war. This whole economy is in the gutter. America is going down the toilet bowl. Okay? But they need a war. All right, they need war. This is what people don't understand. We've been telling you what's going on, but this is just going to escalate. All right, but they killed more than 50 schoolgirls out of school. All right, and this is America. All right, these are not men of ethics. These are not men of honor. All right. Russia condemns U.S.-Israel strikes on Iran as unprovoked, an act of armed aggression. Russia says that Trump and Israel are plunging the Middle East into the abyss with the Iran attack. Donald Trump says Iranian supreme leader is dead. The Ayatollah is dead. All right, it's been confirmed that was later this afternoon that they killed him. Okay, we have missiles that go deep into the ground. You know, the missile busters that go deep into the ground like a mile. Excuse me. And they said he's gone. All right. So you're going to have the IRGC, the Iranian military. They're just going to step in and take over. Okay. I believe they're going to continue this war. All right. And that goes into the holy book. Russia and Iran is going to wage war with the West. Okay, it's going to get ugly. All right. But they're trying to decapitate, cut off the head of their military, kill all their generals. All right, and he's even provoking for people to rise up against the government and to bring it down for civil war. This is a leader of the West, of America, the biggest mountain, the biggest government on the face of the earth, provoking people to riot, to bring down the government, to fight against their leaders. Just imagine if Russia or China said that to the American people. It would be all over the news. Like I said, they control the narrative of what's going on. You're not going to see all these innocent civilians. Before I came out, they said so far hundreds of Iranian civilians have been slaughtered, killed. Okay, they're bombing all over inside Iran. Major cities get hit. And that's what we do, though. They're the children of the sword. All right, they go all the way back to Cain. Cain represents the sword. All right, Cain is Esau. Goes way back to the beginning. All right, Abel, his Hebrew name, Abel means vapor. He was here one day and gone the next. Abel represents Jacob. All right, that was Jacob and Esau right from the beginning. All right, but Esau, the Romans, the Roman Empire, they're a warlike people. Sneaky. They do things on the sneak. They're cowards. All right, just like those Amalekites throughout history, they're our number one enemy. Are those Zionists? They used to always sneak up on the Hebrew Israelites when we were with our families. They would attack the back and kill the women and children. All right, they're the most evil seed on this earth. But they killed the religious leader. And then there's a few days back, maybe a week, the Board of Peace. And who was leading the Board of Peace? Donald Trump. Can you believe that? I'm on a video. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. The board, you can't make this stuff, man. Like I said, when they say peace, these are you'll know them by their fruit. Okay, you'll know these people by their fruit. Okay, the Board of Peace, unbelievable. The Peace Initiative, led by Donald Trump and allied nations in early 2026, is called the Board of Peace. It was created to manage the post-war redevelopment. Can you believe this? The post-war redevelopment of Gaza. They're the ones that destroyed it. Now they're going to develop it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Excuse me. I'm on a video. Hello? Sorry, brothers and sisters. This always happens when I come out with a video. It was created to manage the post-war redevelopment of Gaza and oversee a ceasefire with a broader mandate to secure enduring peace. Can you believe this? The redevelopment of Gaza and oversee a ceasefire when they caused the war and killed who knows how many people. Only God knows. All right, I know it's way over, probably, I know they're saying like 100,000. It's probably over 250,000 people have been killed, maybe 300,000. Like I said, only God knows. But they're to oversee a ceasefire with a broader mandate to secure enduring peace. Can you believe this? Enduring peace. After they just wiped this place out. And they're going to continue to destroy those Palestinians in there. They're going to give them food with chemicals so they could croak, and they're giving them water with chemtrails in it. All right. We're known for doing this, man. The CIA, you can go and do your research. The CIA, the government, have been doing things over the ghettos, putting poisons over neighborhoods. I mean, these people are evil, okay? But do some research on it. The U.S. drew a sword under the olive branch. That's right, because that's everything that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth and these Congress and your senators is peace. Peace. We're going to bring the peace. We want to sit down. No, they don't. They want war. War. They want to take people's lands. They want to take their resources. They want to take their gold, their silver, their artifacts. They want to steal their oil. They want to steal everything. They're a thief. They're liars. So the U.S. drew a sword under an olive branch. U.S. has destroyed global credibility. No one trusts this place, man. The whole world, all the nations are looking at this place in disgust. United States and Israel and Europe. The three flunkies. The three evil seeds in a pod. It says, and ensure that working class Americans will finance this geopolitical ATM through a devalued dollar and crushing inflation. The military-industrial complex wants war. That's right. That's the war machine. Trillions of dollars. And they're getting it from you. They're coming after you. They're coming after your homes, your property taxes. Every time you go to the store, they tax you. This country taxes you to death. You're the slaves. America's the plantation. This is the great experiment. But you're paying for these wars. The military-industrial complex wants war. A stable Middle East doesn't buy a defense contract. A new yacht, but a 10-year blank check from the American taxpayers. The military-industrial complex are Pacific corporate entities receive significant funding from the U.S. taxpayers. While the tax money is intended for public services, a significant portion goes toward funding private entities that are part of these larger complex systems. I'm going to get into the scriptures. It's getting a little dark. I started a little late today. We're going to go into the Holy Book of Psalms 55. The Holy Book of Psalms chapter 55 verse 21. His words were smoother than cream, but there was hatred in his heart. His words as soothing as oil, but they cut like sharp swords. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were drawn swords. Give me 1 second. Sorry, brothers and sisters. So that's your government. That's your president, your Congress, your senators. His words were smoother than cream. It also says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. That's the way they speak. Their college degrees, wolves in sheep clothing. This is how they deceive the masses. They control the narrative to brainwash the people, the American citizens, that they're doing the right thing. And they look like they're civilized with their suits and the way they conduct themselves in public. But like right now, they're a disgrace. All right, the way your president speaks, he speaks like a thug. All right, but most of your senators in Congress and most of these people in your politicians, their mouth, they speak smooth to people to deceive them. You know what I mean? They're there to rob you, to defraud you, to take everything they can take. That's what they're about. All right. Like I said, that whole Wall Street, the whole everything here in America is a Ponzi scheme. All right. From buying a home, the interest, how it's all tied in with the banks, the corporate world, and they're protected. They're never going to lose. You're the only one that's going to lose everything. All right, you're going to lose your job. You're going to lose your home because they're going to take your homes. All right, and you're going to pay for these wars. They want you to be destitute, thrown in a concentration camp, and then they're going to purge you in these camps. All right, they already have them built to put people in there, and they're going to put you in ovens. All right, evil is here. You could feel it. The last few days, I was like getting the shakes. Like my body is like I was getting like severe anxiety. We feel it more than the others, the servants of the Lord. We could feel things. But it says, but war was in his heart. These men, they love war. They love war. They love to bring death on the land. All right? They get their kicks. And then they throw these elite parties where all these trillionaires and these billionaires and millionaires get together. And they rejoice on hurting people and killing people and seeing people. They love to torture. That's what these people are all about. They love to torture. They're sadistic human beings. All right. But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. And if you go back, you'll see that they kept on saying, oh, we want to bring peace. We want to bring... No, they didn't. That's why they're sending all our strike groups, the Marines. We sent the Army down there, the Navy, our U.S. carriers, all right, your U.S. bombers. We love war. This country is all about war and destruction. But it's going to backfire. We're going to go into the holy book of Job. The holy book of Job, chapter 24, verse 3. Men move property lines to get more land. Who are these men? The wicked. These wicked men. Right? They'll kill you like Cain. And his Hebrew name is the sword. He killed his brother. And they do it on the sneak. Right? They'll show you an olive branch and then stab you. Men move property lines to get more land. And that's what they want. They want it all. The Rothschilds want the whole world in their hands. They have that God complex. They want it all. Staying on Job 24, verse 18. The wicked man is swept away by floods. All right? Soon they will be swept away by floods. Okay? The Most High is going to take them out. And the land he owns is under God's curse. America is a curse. This is the pit. Right? America was built on blood, and America is going out in blood. God's setting up the traps. He no longer goes to work in his vineyards. As snow vanishes in heat and drought, so a sinner vanishes from the land of the living. Not even his mother remembers him now. He is eaten by worms and destroyed like a fallen tree. He will be forgotten after we're done with him. All right, because there's going to be a nuclear destruction that's going to happen on this land, on this earth. But these elites, they're going to go into their bunkers, and they're going to be our first slaves, and they're going to serve 1,000 years. And then we're going to exterminate them, every single one, from the greatest to the least. All right? There will be no remembrance. He will vanish away. That happens because he mistreated widows and showed no kindness to childless women. God, in his strength, destroys the mighty. You hear that? The Most High Yahweh, in his strength, destroys the mighty, the wicked, the proud, the arrogant men who rule over this land. God acts, and the wicked man dies. God may let him live secure for a time, but keeps an eye on him all the time. For a while, the wicked man prospers. See, they've been prospering for a couple thousand years. Throughout time, they went up, they went down, and they came back up. But they've had their time, and now it's coming to an end. He says, for a while the wicked man prospers, but then he withers like a weed, like a stalk of grain that has been cut down. Can anyone deny that this is so? Can anyone prove that my words are not true? All right, because they will wither like a weed. How are you doing? I'm doing good. So we're going to go into the holy book of Psalms chapter 58. The holy book of Psalms 58, verse 1. A prayer for God to punish the wicked. Do you rulers ever give a just decision? Do you judge all men fairly? No. You think only of the evil you can do and commit crimes of violence in the land. Evil men go wrong all their lives. They tell lies from the day they are born. And this is the Greco-Roman American Zionist Empire. They are full of poison like snakes. They stop up their ears like a death cobra, which does not hear the voice of the charmers. And who are the charmers? See, they don't want to hear us speak this truth. They cover their ears when they see us. Right? They look at us as they call us like the lowest of men in their sight, because everything they do is they steal. They get their riches by blood. They take people's lands. They're the destroyers of the earth. But she does not hear the voice of the charmers who chant, who are the chant of the clever wise men with the word of God. Right? They don't want to hear this truth. We are called they call us the undesirables of this earth, because we hold this truth and we wait patiently for the Lord to bring vengeance on the wicked. Verse 6, break the teeth of these fierce lions, O God, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. May they disappear like water draining away. May they be crushed like weeds on a path. May they be like snails that dissolve into slime. May they be like a baby born dead that never sees the light. Before they know it, they are cut down like weeds. In his fierce anger, Yahweh will blow them away while they are still living. The righteous will be glad when they see sinners punished. They will wade through the blood of the wicked. People will say the righteous are indeed rewarded. There is indeed a God who judges the world. Be patient, all my brothers and sisters and children who are watching. God's eyes are brighter than 10,000 suns. We're going to go to the Holy Book of Joel. The Holy Book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 30. The day of the Lord. And I will give warnings of that day in the sky and on the earth. There will be bloodshed, fire, and clouds of smoke. The sun will be darkened, and the moon will turn red as blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord comes. But all who ask the Lord for help will be saved. And that's you, brothers and sisters, God's hopeful elect. But all who ask the Lord for help will be saved. As the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai has said, some in the holy city will escape, and those whom I choose will survive. And when he talks about the holy city, he's talking about the people, the tribes, because we're no longer home. We're in captivity. So when it talks about, it's twofold. When it talks about the holy city, it's talking about the ancient times of when King Solomon ruled for 40 years. And that was our peace with King Solomon. And throughout history, it's been up and down, but then we were pushed on the four corners of this earth. So it's twofold. When you see the scriptures saying about the holy city, he's talking about the city dwells in us, the holy city, from back in ancient times, and then we have a future where this world's going to be purged. God's going to purge and nuke Israel off the face of the earth. It has to be purged. It's been defiled. And we're going to go home soon. Hope all you brothers and sisters were edified with this lesson. Most High willing, if more breaking news comes out, I'll have a video out tomorrow. Thank you for watching The Wada.